It's a good. I think it's a little. That's appropriate.
So what did FDR do Pearl Harbor on purpose?
That was on there.
I know.
Just FYI.
Good. This message is endorsed by Evan McMahon. That's not true, folks. It's me. I'm sorry.
Until we actually go live with the meeting, the chair is muting the microphone for this broadcast.
And
Thank you, Lori. Everybody, we are now broadcasting live on YouTube. Time is 10:30. Time is 10:39. I'm Evan McMahon, Chairman of the Libertarian Party of Indiana. I call this meeting of the State Central Committee to order on May 20th, 2023. First item on the agenda is the roll call. Mr. Secretary, whenever you're ready, please call the roll.
all right, Chair McMahon is here. Hudson, Vice Chair.
Here.
Secretary Soltz is here. Treasurer Schulteis.
Here.
All right, Tech Hagerman.
Here.
Membership Alexander. Political Copeland.
Here.
Communications Smith is not here. District 1 Schick.
Here.
District 2 Coquillard.
Here.
District 3 Avery.
Here.
District 4 Lundy.
Here.
District 5 Schillings.
Here.
District 6 Lomax.
Ready.
District 7 Johnson.
Here.
District 8 Engelberth. District 9 Kinzer.
Here.
Mr. Chair, I count 15 members present, including yourself.
Thank you, sir. And we do not appear to have any guests in the galley, and there are none on Zoom at this time. Appointment of a timekeeper. Elizabeth, you want to be timekeeper? Thank you, Elizabeth. Come on, Elizabeth, you can do it. All right. Mr. Kinzer. Okay, Mr. Kinzer is the timekeeper. Thank you. Next item on the, adoption of the agenda. As we blow past timekeeper, I would like to make two additions to, or two changes to the agenda. I would like to remove under new business item B and C, to just remove to amend, or amend to remove those two items. Is there any objection to removing those two items? Okay. So those two items are removed. Are there any other items that need to be added to the agenda? Is there any other topics that people wish to discuss? Mr. Schulteis?
I have 5 minutes executive session.
Do you need it extended into, is there any objection to adding another 5-minute executive session to the schedule for Mr. Schulteis? Hearing no objection, do you want that at the beginning or the end, Mr. Schulteis? Doesn't, yeah, it really doesn't. We'll do that at the top of the executive session.
Okay.
Do that first. Any other additions or changes? Any other requests? Okay. Any objection to moving the agenda as amended? Hearing none, the agenda is adopted. Okay. Now we move on to officer reports. Chair report, I'm going to keep this really brief, the briefest chair report I've ever given before. I'm not going to use the whole 10 minutes. I'm not going to step on Kristen's toes, but we've been doing a lot of membership stuff this past month. Getting the process down for the membership cards, the pens. I will be sending out on her behalf an email ballot to get more, the more triple member pens, because we are running low. But I will be doing that on her behalf because I'm the one that has the invoice from the last time we did it. So it'll just be easier for me to do the email ballot for that. I have been working on, we had talked about the campus affiliates. I've been working on those bylaws recommendations, and I do believe that I will have them for our meeting in July. For us to have our first look, to then be sent to the county officers to have them look at it and respond to it. But I'd like to have it resolved by the meeting in August so that we could move forward with it if we do adopt those bylaws to create a student membership and a campus affiliate structure. But I have been working on that. Working with quite a few of our candidates, fielding issues and questions from counties and new counties and counties that think they're counties that aren't counties. And a lot of work with the CRM and trying to get things to work right now. I've also been trying to document the problems that we are having with our national membership listing, which is 100% inaccurate. We did not lose members, we gained members. It is verified, it is a fact. But now that Robert, the operations director of National, is no longer, his services were no longer required by the National Party. I don't know how likely it will be that they will be willing to fix it, which means we may need to file a complaint. That is what I've been dealing with. Our lawsuit against the state of Indiana. I don't have a legal update on it. I don't believe, no, I did not. Just know that we filed for motion for summary judgment. And next month we expect the response from the state. There may be oral arguments, not very likely, but there might be. It looks like that lawsuit is going to be wrapped up by August or September. So that's the legal update on that. Fundraising's going okay. We could kick it up a notch. I'm going to let, again, Kristen share her membership report and how amazing that was. I did not get all of the compiled reports from the district reps and the directors completed and sent out, and I do apologize for that, but you guys will have it next week. Okay. Any questions for the chair? Okay, hearing none. Vice Chair, Ms. Hudson. Oh, okay. It's Greg Hirsch is here, I think. We have one visitor joining us, Mr. Hirsch from Clark County. How are you, sir? It's good to see you. Madam Secretary, time starts now.
Okay. Since our last SCC meeting, I've attended some county meetups, Lawrence, Oldwood, Brown, Orange, and also the Super Saturday in District 9, which the District 9 rep will talk about that later. One of the things that I do before I go to county meetings is I review the membership list before I go. And Kristen's been doing really, really good work notifying people. There's still a couple people that don't check their emails, and I have found some people are unaware that they're no longer a member. They're like, I didn't know, I thought I was a member. They're unaware that they're last. She's doing a real good job getting the word out, but we do have a couple of issues to clear up with a couple of people that need to get squared away, and something we're working on. And other than that, I really don't have anything else to report. I reserve the balance of my time.
Well, I'm going to talk about Tanya for a second here. She's been a great vice chair for this party. I don't have time to go to all of the events. Like just working, doing all the other stuff that I do for the party. It's just impossible for me to be able to go to all of these things. And Tanya has, she pledged she would go to them, and she's actually done it. So like, you know, congratulations, Tanya. Thank you. So she's been great. I also, because Luke messed this up in the chat, I want to make sure everybody understands that when somebody says they come to you as a district rep or a director or a county chair, and they say, hey, I want to affiliate or organize my unaffiliated county, their first response is to send them to me. You are responsible for ultimately asking that they be made a temporary chair. Once they're made a temporary chair, they go to Tanya, and Tanya walks them through the entire affiliation process. We don't tell them the things that they need to do, like go get your bank account or go file this form or do those things. We don't do that until after they're the temporary chair. We give them the 1,000-foot view overview of what it's going to look like, but we don't give them the specifics because it's real easy to mess it up.
Don't put the cart before the horse.
So stop doing that, Luke. That's enough. But so that's the process. send, and you don't even have to send them to me. If you're already talking to them and you've already told them, hey, we can make you a temporary chair, and you've checked that their membership status is accurate and that there's at least one other member in the county, then you can just send it to me and say, hey, Evan, I'd like to have this guy made temporary chair, or this person made temporary chair at the next meeting. And I'll put it on the agenda. I trust that you have done your job to look them up and talk to them.
Maybe they.
Yeah.
Copy.
But then once we make them temporary chair, it's Tanya's process. So don't contact me, talk to her. And if she has a question, she'll ask me.
I'll just create another group chat.
I will. So any questions for the vice chair? Okay, hearing none. Mr. Schulteis, your treasurer's report.
As of yesterday, from some of our accounts, we had 1,600. Starting in the next few days, I'll be switching to our previous accounting software, so I'll be able to become more detailed reports for the next. meeting.
This isn't the treasurer's report, but when are we going to get on Google? Okay. One board member who shall remain nameless, Luke, has not been getting his emails since the convention because he deleted the Zoho app and has logged into Gmail and has been able and thought everything was fine because he can send emails in Gmail. He just can't check his email. So let's get that fixed. Yeah. Thanks. Congratulations.
I'm all logged in now.
Any other questions for the treasurer? Ms. Avery?
Any update on getting triple membership money out?
No. Did we both just looked at each other like,
No, he was.
oh, I looked at him first. As soon as you said any update, I immediately looked at him.
I have a list.
There are also a lot of counties that have not submitted their payment information. And so that's the thing is make sure your counties have all the payment information in, because it becomes really complicated, us going back and back and back to see who got paid when and what. We'd like to not have that be a thing. Ms. Schillings. Yes.
I have check available. That's before. You may see a direct deposit.
I told you, I already told him.
We tried.
I can see the checks right there. If anybody else needs a check, Michael's got his checkbook. Any other questions for the treasurer? We don't have anything outstanding right now, correct? I mean, we don't have any other big payments. Everything's already gone through and cleared at this point in the year. Okay. Okay. Moving on. Mr. Secretary, Mr. Schultz.
Yeah, minutes from last meeting should be before you. The biggest concern, I'm usually good at tracking business. The biggest concern is making sure your name is in the right box on whether you're absent or present. So please look for your name, make sure that it is in the proper place, or if you had a proxy, make sure your proxy's listed. Then trying to keep up with executive session minutes. Those are voted on by the executive board via email. Those have been approved from the last two meetings. There'll be more there. I've been working really hard on the Google Drive. It's been trying to keep track of all the reports that we get to the email, and that's pretty much everything is being saved there for posterity. And Mr. Schulteis has access to that, or has admin access, since he kind of manages the Google accounts. So there should be hopefully less friction when record keepers change in the future. As for assistant secretary, there was one person whose name was put forward. We spoke with briefly, but she decided the time commitment wasn't something she could do. So still open to ideas for assistant secretary. Definitely want at least an assistant for the upcoming state convention, if not someone to replace me at meetings when I'm not able to be here. But other than that, keeping up with emails, Google Drive is starting to get organized. I'm pleased with trying to figure out new CRM access and things, but which apparently making events looks different for me now. I didn't see that coming, but that's exciting. So other than that, I think we're good.
You need to, because
Oh,
we don't put it on the agenda. You have.
Oh, I move it?
It's part of your treasurer's or your secretary's report to move it. Yep.
Oh, okay. Well, I move to accept the minutes from the April meeting.
Okay. It's been moved by, no, it was already seconded. Shut up. It was moved by Mr. Schultz, the secretary. It was seconded by Ms. Alexander. Recognize Mr. Kinzer for question.
As I know he's been speaking with Lauren in reference to up here, we're looking to get on that. What restraint did you?
Can you bring that up later? Because this is the motion on the, there's a motion on the floor. So that question needs to be to that motion. Are there any questions or comments about the motion? Okay. Is there any objection? Hearing no objection, the minutes are adopted. Mr. Kinzer, go ahead and ask your question.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much just being able to commit more or less to the monthly SCC meetings. They would be a non-voting member of the SCC. They'd be expected to be here as much as any other member. I mean, if once or twice they can't make it, that'd be fine. But especially since I intend to be at every meeting, but you never know when life will happen. They need to plan to be at the meetings and take records if needed. So they need to commit to monthly meetings basically, and to the convention.
So one Saturday a month.
Yeah, because they wouldn't attend any special meetings or executive meetings. So that would be the other thing, is that it need to be understood that they don't participate in the executive sessions for those meetings because they don't have a fiduciary responsibility to the party as a non-voting member. Any other questions for the secretary? Okay, hearing none, moving on to LNC update. Dustin's not here. There's a lot that I can update you guys on, but it'll come later in the meeting. Just honestly, does anybody have any questions about the LNC that I may or may not be able to answer? Because I have the information or I don't, not because I wouldn't answer it. Okay, hearing none, we'll move on. Reports from directors, political director, Mr. Copeland.
For our canvassing efforts, thus far, we have knocked on 653 doors with a rate of roughly 29%. Vast majority of that is the efforts of Morgan County in this campaign. When it says vast majority, you mean call it drink?
Only thing.
That's not true. We can go. Yes, which is something I'm going to work to correct. Morgan County can continue its reign of terror. So far, 4 counties have made requests for data to be uploaded. Morgan, Floyd, Hendricks, and Hancock. I've created walkbooks that will be uploaded data for everything other. They do ask the district reps to reach out to commissioners with that campaigns to make sure that those campaigns are requesting their data uploads. I am going to be working on making it very obvious or making myself very available to get everybody trained in listening and make sure that we're complying with the data use policy. I was contacted by a candidate who was interested in running for mayor of Indianapolis and got him in contact with the county leadership for Marion County. They didn't take any action so far at their May 1st meeting to nominate him. Mr. Lowlands has put me in contact with another candidate who is interested in possibly.
That's
running.
time.
Sorry?
That's time. Be very quick.
you put me in contact with another interested party, and I'm going to be working with them to, well, just on that line. Wow.
Communications, he's not here. I will let you know that we did send out the press release that we received. It did go out. I just didn't respond. Sorry, but it was me. I'm the one that sent it out. Andrew has not yet been trained yet on how to do it, how to use the system to send them out. So when they come in, it's going to be me. You're not always going to get a response from me, but they are always going to go out either that day or the next day until he gets it. Mr. Lundy.
Did we confirm which email address is for the,
It is media@lpin.vote.
we had some issues?
We did. It's one time I said .org, and that's when everybody updates everything and switches it back.
I just wanted to clarify.
Yeah, Mr. Hagerman.
Do we have a list of contacts on the site that's not?
No. Did you not see the email of what just happened? No.
You were supposed to get contacts.
He's talking about contacts for the state party. We don't put our email addresses on there for exactly what happened with everybody getting hit. No, that's it's an internal email address. It's not supposed to, we don't get, the media contacts comms. So in our press release, it has comms, not the media email address. That's just the one that we set up as the dump for, you weren't actually supposed to get that. It was supposed to be Chuck Pollin. Somehow it became Chuck Hagerman. But so the media team gets that, and then the 3 people who have access to the system can then send it out. But that's an internal, it's not external. Yeah, I haven't done that yet. And I'm waiting on Andrew because it's one of the things that we're going to do. So he knows how to do it, so he can do it for anytime anybody needs it or has an update. Did you guys had a list of other media contacts that you wanted us to make sure were in there too, didn't you? Can you see if that's the case? And if so, get it, just send it to media. Okay. Any questions about communications? Okay, June something or other. I don't have my phone. Liz, I told you what the date was. You asked me what the deadline was for the next quarterly newsletter. It's
The
like,
19th.
is it 19th? Okay.
The 19th. I had to get mine in by the 19th.
Yeah. So June 19th is the deadline for content for,
He just told you that.
and I did check my calendar, then it's June 18th, because then I checked my calendar. So it's June 18th. It doesn't matter. June 18th is the deadline for, it's chair's prerogative. Be quiet. Make sure to get the content in, include any pictures. Now I'm just vamping. Now I'm just gonna keep going. But that, any content you have can also go to media, but you need to expressly state that it's for the newsletter, not a press release or an op-ed, okay?
That's for the 19th.
18th.
18th.
Tech, Mr. Hagerman.
So, keeping up, the, wildlife updates and, Chris will contact me if she needs me. So we'll go ahead and do them. I attended the Get Out Vote, that Danny had. I learned the, sort of the back office. So I can do that really from anywhere. All, you know, if anyone's doing one, all I need is phone number and call me, and I can direct people to where to send supplies or whatever. So I'm happy to. The chair asked me to go into all of our candidates and indicate the year. And I will tell you, having dealt with them, it is very difficult. But you look up Danny and there's 3 or 4, and you're like, well, which one do I want? They all now have a space and in parentheses, the year of the election.
Except for current candidates.
Did not say that.
I did, but not current candidates this year.
We'll remove it for candidates.
Because it will, if we pull that data and put it somewhere else, it will show with that date on it. So just previous candidates. Okay.
Script that I wrote, so when the year is over, I can go put it on the candidates. But those are all updated, so Or try to find somebody who would be much easier to be the one without the. After this meeting.
I would like for you to get with Kristen. We don't want to give her access to Wild Apricot because we don't want to bump up our tier. But if you can work with her so that she can contact everybody who's in Wild Apricot so that we can get them out of Wild Apricot.
Yeah, I could just pull.
Yep. Yep, that'd be great. Any questions for the tech director? Okay, hearing none, moving on. Miss Alexander for membership director.
Numbers are up outside of triple members. We actually went down by 4 members of memberships. Overall, we are stagnant memberships and we're 12 total members, with Marion County having the highest increase of other members. We are working on getting membership benefits out. Touching on what Evan said earlier, we've been running a list of all the triple members to find out why they aren't national members, why our national members are dropping. It's simply a processing problem with the LNC, and we're gonna have to send file late. Outside of that, I actually have had a lot of success. A couple of lapsed members just shooting them one simple email and they went back immediately, got the membership redone. So just a little light touch is going a long way.
What was our total number?
What members of membership?
Members in Indiana.
534. Did you have a list of memberships? I'm gonna make you email them. Just put it in the stream. Just the email us. I can stream this out.
Oh, don't do that. Because each person has to accept the stream to get it. Yeah, and I didn't send it out, so it'll come out Monday. Because it's part of, I'm sorry, I had things I had to do, so I didn't get that sent out for everybody else. But yeah, all the district and director reports will go out Monday. They didn't get sent out as a collective. Any other questions from the membership director? Sure.
I've gotten a lot of comments from members who are happy to finally get their membership card and times and things.
Thank you.
Every membership director is clearly helping.
Anything else? Okay, moving on. District 1, Mr. Schick.
Lincoln County continues to be active on social media, but they've not had any here. In Porter County, I have to say that we've got 2 municipal candidates for town council in Chesterton and Portage. We haven't had municipal candidates in at least a dozen years in Porter County. So, one organization candidates in Porter County. They had a situation where their treasurer left the party and took the account, the passwords with him for the bank account. And a little over a year it took them to kind of recover from that and get reestablished the bank account. But they just did that in the last month, so they're able to receive and spend money in Port County. And they've got a candidate for a mayoral candidate for Michigan City, which I'm happy. So for me, any questions?
A statement. If that happens in the future, there's a simple letter that can come from the state party stating who the authorized treasurer is, because we are the main organization that we can be in communication with the bank to get that cleared up.
Thank you.
Treasurers from even businesses change from time to time, and sometimes they leave on bad terms.
Mhm.
Banks understand that. They just need the right documentation to get it done.
And I think the situation with Port County is just more that they didn't need to spend any money, so they took their sweet time.
Okay.
Getting it done.
Thank you, Mr. Schick. District 2, Ms. Coquillard.
Well, on April 30th, the district participated in a national day of service. We picked the trash in Pasco County on our strip of road here, there's CPHC and then the park next to the river. This is our third consecutive year doing this strip, and it's actually gotten a lot better than what it was. You can really tell that like time and attention was brought to that area. So we Costco also boosted the Florida Pops event. They did a Star Wars theme and they all dressed up, and then in fact they held a final auction and brought in over $450. I can tell you that they're up to $1,420 donations for this month. So they're doing great. They had their first third Friday, I think this Friday or yesterday, and even though it was raining, they were there and it felt like they had a lot of fun. And then she picked up an event that night today, so she's doing another event today. And they continue to hold a weekly social about Hot Four for Trivia Thursday. St. Joseph County is currently looking for a new treasurer. Treasurer's leaving on good terms, just moving. So hopefully we can get them into his new county. Business meetings are being attempted to be held, but no treasurer available, no member participation. So those just follow through. District 2 website slow rollout. Website is now public and county sites are being built. Estimated to have county websites ready to go this month. This includes having templates for the 5 non-affiliated counties for insufficient pros. Attended town hall with the county assessor, speaking to the public about resources to find help on understanding property taxes. And he did ask the commissioner the question, what is taxation? He did give a correct answer. So can I get like another minute?
Go ahead.
Okay. Elkhart County held our monthly business meeting on Saturday at the Georgia Public Library. We have our regular meeting scheduled at the library on the second Saturday every month at 2 p.m. We're looking for volunteers to walk in the Elkhart Memorial Day Parade. Parade starts at 2 p.m. on Memorial Day and is 4 blocks long. Currently, Democrat Rod Robertson is running unopposed in the mayoral race in Elkhart, and we hope to attract candidates members. We also participated in the trash cleanups. That's all I have.
Thank you. Any questions for Ms. Kokolar? Hearing none. District 3, Ms. Avery.
Right. In Whitley County, candidate Melanie Love participated in the recent First Friday outreach event. And that county's also had another candidate for the 3rd district seat reach out. That makes 2 for that county so far, which is pretty crazy. There are also pictures. In DeKalb County, they're continuing to look for potential candidates, and they're also having the lack of member problem that a lot of other counties are facing. Allen County is working on creating a website. This man over here. They're also working on starting a podcast, so we'll see how that goes. And lining up outreach events for the future. We're actually gonna try to do the county fair this year. But we need to get enough members at a meeting to actually approve spending the money, so it's been a little bit of a struggle. A recent event that we held featured a party member speaking about the challenges facing disabled people and navigating the system, and I think that went really well. That's all. Any questions?
I would just say, if you're having a hard time getting members to show up to the meeting to approve being at the county fair, be careful how much you're biting off, because you have to be there the entire time.
Right. We have
And-
people that are enthusiastic coming in.
And working it, they just won't come to the meeting.
Yeah.
Okay, that's backwards.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. But just bear that in mind, everybody. Yeah.
Meetings are boring. People don't like phone.
And also, just so everybody remembers, in July, we're gonna have a whole new system that we're gonna talk about later in this meeting that will make the county similar to the state. So just bear that in mind when expending resources. It will be a lot easier. We'll talk about that more later. Any questions, any additional questions for Ms. Avery? Did I already ask that? I did. Okay. Moving on, District 4, Mr. Lundy.
We had another meeting, like a meet and greet, to see how things are going. As I mentioned last month, they have closed out the committee officially with the counties. We don't have to get a pay file and see things. Michael, here's what was left in their bank account. It's all yours. So that's done. They have listed as donation to the LPIN. So I would ask that maybe we keep that in reserve in case they come back up. Maybe we can donate it back to them. Obviously, that's not a thing we can actually do. I'm just mentioning it as a consideration.
Um,
Like I'm gonna need it.
I'd like to stop the clock for a second. Like to have a conversation about Boone County and this process. So the couple questions, do we have all of their other information? They closed out the bank account.
Yep.
Boone County has been around for a while. We don't have their paperwork readily available, so we don't have like their original EIN. The reason why I ask this is the process now, since they filed to dissolve, is for us to vote to disaffiliate, because we have to officially take them off our books as an affiliated county.
Just because they don't have a committee at the county.
They're not an official party.
Right.
They don't exist, so we have to disaffiliate because that's what makes them.
I would ask we delay that and see how it goes.
How long would you like to delay that?
Give me another month or two. See how it's going.
Okay, that was what I was gonna say, is if you have something in the works, let's not do it because it's gonna be a pain to reaffiliate.
See how it's going.
But if we're hitting the 3-month marker, I think we need to catch up on that stuff and do it more officially as opposed to through default.
Yeah, and I appreciate the fact that they actually did close all this
Yes.
stuff down. So we don't
That's good.
have to scramble to figure it all out. We
Mhm.
don't have to worry about final CFAs. We can just see if there's interest
Yep.
in keeping it going and move on from there.
Okay, if they have any candidates or anything like that,
They're gonna-
but if they do, officially now, they need to be nominated by the SCC.
Yeah.
When that happens, once we nominate, they have 3 days to file their paperwork.
And we'll deal with that if and when it.
If and when it happens, just reminding you of that. Mr. Mr. Schulteis, you have a
Are we
question?
involved with deposit or?
No. Or go ahead and put it in, but
What's the policy?
yes, we're still talking about Boone County. Yes. Go ahead and deposit it. Go ahead and put it into the general fund, but make a note that that was how much was done for that. If you can actually put
Yeah.
it in the minutes.
Is it exactly $180? If the treasurer wouldn't mind counting, sorry. Yeah,
Oh, it's actual cash. Oh, jeez. Okay.
we can continue, but the treasurer and I will work it out.
Yeah, so just make sure that's noted so that we can try to do what they said. After 3 months, we don't care anymore and we're gonna spend it. Okay, back on the clock, Mr. Lundy, you can continue with the rest of your report.
In Hendricks County, Michelle Kelly has filed her paperwork, Greenwood Town Council, which is a headache now. They should have gone out and done email cleanup. And they, community services there, that have been happening down there. There's 200 people with an AMO, so it's a great way to meet people. So in here he has, some stuff loaded up. Paul, I already cut it because there's only 100 people. So it's not a lot to do there. Montgomery County is still working on just updating their processes, future planning, so everything they had was super analog. And so they're just playing with some things and getting things up and going. I'm really proud of them for taking those steps and working on their legacy planning. Morgan County, we had our Get Out the Boat event. We had 13% participants. We knocked 365 doors that day after completing about an hour-long training. Which, by the way, that slide deck is now done and reusable, and it should be a repeatable process from now on.
Have you updated it from the one that you sent me and Michael? Or the one you sent me and somebody else? I know you sent it to me, maybe it was Chuck.
Well, I don't know. It was a Google link anyway. Yes,
Yeah.
I've updated it.
Okay.
The link will still be the updated.
But we could put it in the LMS now.
Yep, yeah.
Okay.
I'm giving it to the LPIN for free.
Wrap it up, Mr. Lundy. Wrap it up.
Yeah, the next, get off the boat event will be June 24th in Warrenville. Everybody's interested in that. Same place, Warrenville Library. We had good recognition in Morgan County. We've done the Mooresville Cleanup Day every single year since they started it. I guess there was a little bit of a lower turnout and we got called out for being one of the organizations that's supported that effort every single year. I've got 650 or whatever many doors on the campaign. Putnam County still having trouble scheduling anything. I did talk to Dennis and whether or not they can close some things down, which is they didn't have final CFAs. He said, no, that's fine. He's good with final paperwork and we'll make sure it gets done on time. So in the meantime, we're still trying to get some meetups going in Putnam County. Tippecanoe County had a tax day protest. That went really well. They had more than a dozen people there. They actually got one guy who showed up and became a member by the end of the day. So they had some great conversations with some folks out there and it's very successful there. And that should wrap up my talk for you.
I would actually like for you to reach out to either Randy Young or Steve Mayoris. I think Randy Young's the one who organizes the tax day protest most of the time. To create a tax day protest plan that can be shared with the rest of the counties. Because that's a big event and like, hi, taxation is theft. That's like, you know, number 2 on our motto sheet. We should be having these protests all around the state on tax day and around tax day. So if you could do that, I would greatly appreciate it. Miss Avery.
I noticed that you're sending out what appears to be poll calls for triple memberships. How is that going? And would you share your template with everyone else?
Well, you heard me. Email template right here, and you have, if you want to just message me and I'll send it to you, because there were several different ones. It was if they're an LPIN member, but not a national member, if they're a national member, but not a LPIN member. There was like one.
Calm down.
Changed, the rest of it was pretty similar.
I've never been on it, it's always trying to figure out the problem.
We're not going to go back. We're not going to go back into the minutes and fine you for us being over time. It's just to let us know. It's fine. We've got plenty of time.
But yeah, if you want to just message me and I'll make sure you get copies of it.
What's been the response?
Nothing, I've got no response, but that is.
Never. Okay, Mr. Hagerman.
I was just gonna say, in the Knights of Columbus, we do submit already, and there's actually an award given, so it might be something to get all the counties.
It's not a bad idea. Duly noted. Okay, moving on. District 5, Ms. Schillings.
Well, District 5, I have a report from our friend. And a large fundraising event, which would involve food truck. Unfortunately, food truck vendor did not get his state mandated license renewed, so was unable to have that. He is, however, planning another outreach event in September. It is the River Rally Motorcycle Show, and Ron, one more time, down Rainwater, has come for several years, and we're hoping he'll come again. He has his website, LPIN.org. It's up and running now. And their next event is Saturday the 3rd at the Green Acres Campground in Marion. And their vice chair for the county party owns that property. It'll be a small business meeting plus a cookout. So I don't know if that's open, or if that's. The report from Hamilton County, we had a regular meeting this past Wednesday. We tried to reconvene our convention, but it failed with the last forum. But people did show up afterwards for the regular meeting, so we did have a regular meeting where we decided to push everything to June and people reconvene our convention June 17th, hopefully at the Spirit Building, if I can get a room. To be determined. We have still got Sheriff from Marion and do not have any information about meetings that they can find readily, but I passed that on to our communal chat with their information, so hopefully someone from Marion will reach out to them. And we will be attending the Carnival Constitution 23 again this year, July 3rd and 4th. We'll have a booth. It's one of our largest outreach events. We're trying to make about 600 people there. That's the amount of people actually quiz every 2 days. That's not the amount of people that have to contact. So it's a huge outreach for us. It touches a lot of people. So anybody who'd like to come volunteer 2 hours, I love that. And that's my report. There's no other representatives contacted me then.
Noted. Any questions for Ms. Schillings? Mr. Hagerman?
What was that website, Grant County again?
Grant,
LPIN.
Yes.
which is the proper format for anybody that's not Marion County.
They also have Marion.
I know, but they use LPND. NDLP, whatever. District 6, Mr. Lomax.
So we had a lot of recent activity, apparently some activity that I missed from Wayne County. So I'm getting caught up on all that. But somebody from Fayette County did reach out to me about becoming a temporary chair and affiliating in county. He has since procured somebody to be his treasurer. So we are ready to move forward with that once we get him introduced and everything like that. Probably going to be an agenda item for the next meeting. In Hancock County, we are getting ready to start a fundraising drive, pushing to raise $350 in a week. so that we can buy a booth for H fair. Larry Silver, our mayoral candidate in Greenfield, has been pushing to get that done, and believe it or not, the city and the county have been dragging their feet about giving us even the application, which was due by April 4th. So they said that they still have space available, but they can't guarantee anything until we pay them the $350. So we're gonna try to do a week-long campaign, reaching out to our existing and past members in Hancock and surrounding counties and seeing if we can get them to donate through Stripe. We do have a Stripe QR code set up now. It is now posted to our Facebook page for the county party, so that's awesome. Johnson County, I was reaching out to somebody from Fort Calvert that wants to volunteer for James in the City Council campaign. So I passed that information on to the Johnson County chair, Matt Canvas. Shelby County, we've got a candidate that's interested in running for Shelbyville mayor. They are still technically an affiliated county, and I was told by Jake that they have been filing all of their stuff on time in a timely manner. So we're going to work with him. That's the candidate that Paul said that I reached out to him about. We're going to try. I'm trying with Shelby and Hancock to get a joint event either via Zoom. Well, no, for eCanvas. Either through Zoom or in person, so that we can all get on a call, go through the slide deck that Danny created and get trained on Canvas. We all have to.
Everyone has to have a data sheet signed
Right.
and submitted.
Yeah.
Okay, just
That's
make sure
gonna be
that's
part of the training.
Okay.
We've already covered that, but everybody's got a profile in Hancock County. We're just waiting on Shelby County to get their stuff together and get it on the meeting. So,
okay.
um,
If you have any problems with the nomination of the candidate, let me know.
okay.
Those are
We'll do
all
that.
on too. I'm putting them on the drive when we get them.
Okay, good. That's good.
All right.
Any questions for Mr. Lomax? Hearing none. District 7, Mr. Johnson.
Besides the good membership numbers from, I'm not a lot of good news from Marion County. So we have 420 events, and only the 3 of us, Chuck and Paul, attended. So that cluster will move that. On a monthly meeting at the start of May, we vetted a possible mayoral candidate. We did not. We will not. So you can tell. Two next events in June, and after a month, I had to back out of Pride, just due to volunteers and activity and interest. I consider this a failure, for me specifically, because I came and asked for money for that said event, and just volunteers that we needed. And while I had some pretty dramatic surprise personal events come up, delegated to some other members from the team to try to get down, but we didn't fall through. So we still have a Juneteenth event. We're still all, guns blazing on that board head. We've got a city council candidate in Mark, but we really just need to focus on the basics, getting structure, process, and we're focusing on membership. So we're trying to get more emails out, just contacting current members, lost members, upselling people to basically the national triple party members, and then to Florida event, following up. I didn't see that in the chat. But still, people should be able to Google and find out that Marion County hosts a meeting first Monday of the month at the Antelope Club every single month. More visible on Facebook this morning.
Also put it on the website because we get a lot of questions I get questions from people asking, where's Marion County?
Okay.
So make sure it's on the website calendar as well. Everybody should be doing that. A lot of people check that. We're the first place they go, not your Facebook page. They go to the state party. Any questions?
But these meetings are on there now too.
They were, and we actually don't know why they're gone.
Oh, wonderful.
There's a lot of the calendar events that are gone. Only the state parties though. All the county candidate and county stuff is still there.
That's
Mr. Schulteis.
Previous chair of Marion County set up the county website. It's no longer functional on modern technology. So we should reach out to see what the party wants to do with it. You mean like the Indeed and the origin or? I guess it would be me, Chuck, and
go.
Okay.
However, we should wait until after July to do that.
Now that the.
Yes, Mr. Lomax, go ahead.
Now that the primaries are done in Marion County, have you guys reached out to anybody? Fill in the mayoral spot. It'd be really nice to have.
Would be nice. I agree, but we don't have any good candidates.
Okay.
Oh, you're up.
Didn't Paul say?
We talked.
He was,
Oh,
he was
I see.
rejected. Yeah, yeah.
He said he would not be.
Mr.
the party.
Oh,
He said he would go and petition to be an independent. Yeah. Oh, it was, I mean, it was, they asked me to be at that meeting and I went and I was like, I'm not saying a word. He can't.
oh.
He just lost in the primary. Yep. Mr. Lundy.
I was just about to ask, last month we had discussed the fact that they did not get some funds get allocated last year, like it never came through.
It was just handed to him just now. I was waiting on that because we were going to combine it as one check when he asked for the district allotment for Pride. We were going to put it together as one check, one payment. Since that's not happening, here's last year's check.
I just want to follow up and record big that.
Yep.
Yeah.
District 8 is Mr. Engelberth, who is not here. Tanya, do you have anything that you want to say about District 8?
I
Jumped
never
into
met
stuff.
Mr.
No,
Or other than I've been to a couple of counties in my vice chair report, been to Owen County and Orange County meetings.
okay.
I don't have anything.
In
Yes,
Vanderburgh.
Vanderburgh, but that was the previous month.
Interesting thing down there. Anne Vermillion just resigned her seat. So that's something to keep in mind. Any questions about District 8, even though we probably can't answer them? Cool. District 9, Mr. Kinzer.
So District 9 held its service Saturday on May 13th in New Albany, Floyd County. There. Person department. Was LPIN there in vice chair. And we had a good day of BFW lot and the ballparks and the what they call it, the waves, they go around the water. So the affiliated counties within District 9 are currently holding their monthly, bi-monthly meetings. Monroe County is going to be reopening their convention on the 25th of this month to hold their officer. We went as well along with the LPIN Monroe County affiliation joined the April 22nd the rally 420 rally. I spoke there. Monroe County had a booth. Sydney was present there with us. Lawrence County will be reopening our convention one last time in June for last fall for candidates to join us. We may have one or two possibly. We're hoping. We're talking to an individual in Midland May who is showing interest in possibly running for mayor. Washington County, of course, Tommy Brown working hard down there to gain more support for his campaign, which is on mayor. He's doing a pretty good job, actually, trying his hardest to get that beat. Clark County has two candidates, Mr. Hirsch and Russell, right? They're both running down there in Clark County. They're holding their meetings every month. They're also running the food bank still every month, twice a month. Jefferson County, they held. Actually, couldn't get him to get back with me on that. I held that meeting, but I did get him hooked up with Robert Schwartz, who's been talking to Evan. I also talked to Robert now, and he was going to go to that meeting, and I know that Ronald said that he was stopped feeling well, so he was possibly thinking of canceling the May meeting. He hasn't come back with me when he opened it. That was on something to find that out. He did inform me that he's going to be leaving the country for the entire month of June, pretty much. June 22nd, he's going to get married.
In the Philippines.
In the Philippines. He's shown interest in getting a booth for a major event in Ripley County, which is north of him. He believes people from Dearborn, Jennings, Jefferson, and Decatur will all come together at that big event. He thinks it would be good, so it's something he's shown interest in. See if there's a way to get that done. Also talking about doing the fair I know Washington County is going to be doing these, on the square event that they do every year. They're not doing the fair. Got a great team in District 9. We're going to continue to see what the future holds up.
Couple of things for you. Brown County. In September, there is some huge hippie festival. The Be Good, Be Kind. Did I get that right? Something like that. It's September 7th through the 9th, I believe. My hairstylist is actually going and they're doing braids there. It's a huge event. Be Good, Be Kind. Yeah, that's it. It might be worthwhile for them to have a booth there to set up. I don't know what the process is, but I've now heard about it from 3 different places. So probably good to look into that.
But this was before my email late. Sports, we just have it, but I
Yeah.
did add in a couple things. I sent you to, I updated it, but I really should update it again. Say that we are going to be doing a parade. So any volunteers that would like to walk the parade or that would actually be Monday down there. And I know about the county, I will definitely do that as well.
I'll also make the announcement. Jennifer Floyd, the county chair Jennifer Commissar Kern, the county chair for Floyd County, was appointed the director of public works for the city of Louisville, Kentucky. And they knew she was a libertarian. They knew she was the county chair in Floyd County. She's from Louisville. She was born and raised there. She grew up there. She's lived on each of the sides of the city. She worked in the department at one point in time, and they really liked her. They liked her ideas, and so they offered her the job. She was immediately criticized by the public for comments made by our national chair. And I had a conversation with her about how to address that with the council, because those are the only people who matter, because they're the only ones that can replace her. It was a great meeting. It was very positive, and she came out of the gate swinging. We had talked about what she should set as her priorities, and she did that, and it was amazing. She said, listen, the neglected communities, particularly communities of color in the city, have the worst infrastructure, but yet they pay taxes too. There's no sidewalks, there's no streetlights. The very first thing we need to do is prioritize building up that infrastructure, because we've taken your money. We need to provide the services we said we would. And so she was afraid she would get criticized by libertarians. And I said, nope, you can't help the fact that they took the money, but you can make sure the money's spent efficiently and correctly. Yeah.
What was her official title again?
Director of Public Works. It's going to be in our newsletter. I did send it to National. They declined to put it in anything. Yeah. I know, shocking. Yeah.
Also, Jennifer did a great job organizing for Saturday. One of the shirts that she bought, it looked really good. Everybody matched. All her candidates were there. It just did a really good job organizing that. Yeah, good lunch afterwards.
Yep.
Good time. Also, Rick is in Jackson County now, and he's already corresponded with Trey Reynolds. They're talking back and forth now by getting the meetings started in Jackson County, getting that going.
Good. The other thing that I had was just verifying that the guy that I connected with you did reach out to Ronald Hoverkamp, and that was.
His information, but I haven't talked to him physically. I didn't hold a meeting, but I wasn't.
Can you do me a solid?
He did in the postpone.
Can you do me a favor and reach out to our guy? Because like Schwartz, I think is his name. If you could talk to Robert, just follow up with him, make sure he's feeling okay.
Yeah, he was excited about being at that meeting, so I'm hoping Ron did a good understanding of why he didn't
Yeah.
make it. Why that's what he told me.
Also, just make sure Ron actually talked to him about it.
Yes. He's still holding his weekly get-togethers in New Albany. I think it's good. He's going to be really great. I think we're going to have a city council party member there in New Albany.
He was given the award after he switched parties. He was given office holder of the year in the county. So that's pretty big.
even the rest of the candidates down there, if you haven't followed them,
They're all doing really good.
Good following of people. I think we're going to see a major change in the Albany. We're going to see some people.
Mr. Copeland, you had a question you wanted to ask?
Yes, did, Mr. Hooper, mention which event in Hooper County he was? He did not name it. I was actually looking at that while everybody else was talking, trying to see if he named it. He just said, it's a very hard so I want to stay with him here. And, he just said, oh, I don't know. But he goes, I want a booth in Ripley County. He graduated there. He says it's a big event up there, other than the county fair. He thinks that would be really great, but he also mentioned he wanted all rainbow spring. He wants an event, do that event in the spring, so it's good spring next year. Oh, it's spring next year.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, let's keep tabs on that though. Let's get it ready so that we're not trying to do it in January. Okay.
I would also encourage him to get in that 80% discount show. It's free. I did it last.
You know what, actually, matter of fact, I think that's what he's talking about. She said that, is that Ripley County?
Yeah.
It is the pumpkin show, I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any other?
Oh, it's been time. You must not give up on time.
Listen, you are supposed to report the time. It is my prerogative to recognize it or not. Just hold up. You just got to hold up the thing. Just hold up the thing. Oh, take it back.
Pull you up.
I pay attention. I just ignore. It's mostly so that when I don't want to hear what the person is saying, I could say time.
But voting members can call for orders of the day.
All right, moving on. This is our 10-minute break. We are on schedule. So do you guys want to take the 10-minute break or power through? Okay, we are taking a break for 10 minutes. So I'm going to be muting the microphone.
Where's the cafe?
All right, the time is 11:53. We are back in session. Next on the agenda, is gaming. We don't have anything. I don't know why I put down 5 minutes for gaming. We don't have anything under gaming. Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Lomax.
Being a member of the gaming team, I was reached out to by another member of the gaming team, Ryan Day from Christie's district.
Yeah.
About using the gaming license on a 50-50 raffle and how we would go about getting that approved.
For the county,
Yes.
so it has to be an exempt, we'll get offline. Let's just, the notice here is that it can be done. We can do it. We only get so many exempt per year, but we haven't had any this year. What we do need is for Michael Schulteis to verify that our license is in good standing and to do whatever we need to do to make sure that it is in good standing.
How many cents?
Yes, Mr. Schulteis. I think it's 4.
Now, they bumped it up, remember, several years ago.
Okay,
Almost.
It's a little bit more.
okay. I know it's not much more than that. It's less than 10. But the big thing is your total amount of prize can't exceed a certain amount either
25
for the individual event,
for each individual.
for each individual event.
The amount you give away.
Yeah, Yeah.
Super weird.
yeah.
Do we have a tournament when you were talking about doing those tournaments in each district?
No, it hasn't been really pushed forward yet.
That's something that as the gaming team needs to sit down, we need to have a date.
Yes,
Okay.
but you need to,
So we'll have that before next week.
but the gaming team needs to familiarize themselves with the rules and regulations and the process for doing this. And then I wanted a county and then state poker tournament. Okay.
We'll have that for you next week.
Okay,
I think they want to do districts.
that's what I was saying. That's what I just said.
The county.
Oh, I'm sorry. I meant, yeah.
Nine tournaments is in the major tournament.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that'll be over here, Marion County, you think?
Of course.
Crossroads of the-
Okay, any other questions? Mr. Schulteis?
Looking to the gaming commission website, the Libertarian Party of Indiana, those that.
That's that information. All right, the rules and regulations.
So you're gonna just reach out to the ATC, the gaming division, talk to them and say, hey, listen, I've been put in charge of this, helping. I have to sign any of the paperwork. So you do all the work and then I'll sign it.
I did not doubt /IGC. Sorry.
Are you on the gaming team?
No,
No.
but we'll go consult.
Any other gaming questions? Okay, thank you. If you need anything,
What do you think?
just reach out, email me, okay? The data team, Mr. Lundy, is there anything that you would like to add for the data team? I would like to ask a question, since Chuck, or not Chuck, since Paul is on the data team with you, kind of. Why is, you said Hancock County, or was it Hendricks County? Did not have data cut, or you didn't do a walkbook?
We had just uploaded it like this week and he's not around to cutting that.
Okay, so it's just a time thing. Okay, I just wanted to make sure.
Point of order, that's not Hancock.
Was it Hendricks County? Hendricks County, okay.
Yeah. but no, it's pretty-
I just want to make sure.
I still need to get with Mr. Strong and get him updated on the voting process.
Okay.
Be a super long, detailed, whole, as to how this works.
Yeah.
Um,
We do need to have a sit-down conversation, me and the rest of the data team about, the thing that's decided in executive session, how we're going to move forward with that type of stuff.
I understand.
We need some structural information.
One of the things we had a discussion about, which we'll be probably working on hopefully by the end of the year.
Sorry for those people, they just on my hairline.
Certification thing in cities, so that when
Yes.
somebody takes the train, like our gal voted in, then we can register that and it'd be easier for people to find, like, hey, I need campusers, cool, these are people who are certified and have done an actual training for that, so.
It is,
That's one of the things we are looking at, hopefully implementing soonish.
it is something that is available in Civi. Technically, and was something that we were able to do a year ago. We could create certifications and tag people with them. You may notice some people in Civi, instead of having the outline of a like Lego figure, it's colored in, it's a solid figure. That means that they are a certified leader. They attended one of the, like, in this instance, it was probably the regional training or the training at national. That's what that means. And so they're certified in that. And when you click on them, they actually have that in their status or in their summary. We were able at one point to create those certifications for ourselves. We are no longer able to do that. We hope to have that ability turned back on soon.
But there's things like that that we want to improve to be and just when we process things, make everybody. But anyway, that's pretty much all I have.
Talking to Ryan Roll-on, we can move forward now in theory with more API work. So if you can connect with him on that. Okay. Any other questions for the data team? Okay, hearing none. I guess we should have looked around the room to make sure everybody was back, and they are. Convention, there was a mix-up. Well, not really a mix-up. We secured the forum for 2024, but we didn't set the date. It was just one of the weekends, probably the first weekend in March. And now she emailed back to say, hey, are we still doing the first weekend in March? So I responded back to her, yes, that was still the plan. So that's taken care of. I would like the members of the convention team to send me their availability for the next month so that we can schedule a 2-hour meeting. That's all I want it to be. That's the maximum I want it to be, and we won't have another one for 2 months. That discussion will be about dealing with the presidential candidates, how we want to do that to maximize both their exposure and our revenue. Our own candidates, we need to be prepared to be able to have a debate for our top of the ticket candidates, because there's 5 people who have said they want to run for governor. So we need to be prepared to have a debate for that. We need to know when we're going to do it and how we're going to do it. I would like for us to have a really nice Saturday event after the banquet so that people don't leave when the banquet's going on. I'd like for them to stay there and spend money at the bar. So I'd like for us to develop something that happens while the awards banquet is going on, and then something that's happening immediately when the awards banquet is over, so that we can keep people there, because we have the space until midnight. And we're paying for that bar and we're paying for the security. Let's keep people there and keep them getting drunk.
That's what everybody.
It's what I wanted to do, but I want you guys to, figure it out. But so please send me your availability for that and start thinking about what role you would like to have in the convention planning, whether it be securing donations for the raffle, helping with speakers, what role you'd like to have in that planning, with the understanding that I'll be overseeing it very hardcore. If you miss a deadline, I'll kick you out. Any questions about convention? Miss Avery?
I think I'm on the actual convention committee.
Yes.
Does that mean that? Is that too?
You don't have to attend if you don't want to. Because
If you
we're going to do that
when you
anyway.
guys pick a date, just let me know. I'm different.
Okay, will do. Any other questions about the convention? If you do remember, I did state that we would have the tickets up for the convention in June. That is not going to happen. There's nobody there that can do it. So we're in that position right now, just FYI. But I have the template ready. I heard that, Danny. It's January. Okay, moving on. 2023 elections, Mr. Copeland, do you have anything to add for 2023 elections? You have the floor for 5 minutes.
Not currently, all the candidate updates are included in my report.
Okay. Any additional candidate information that the political director or the SCC needs to be made aware of? Mr. Lomax?
There is a potential, in the name yet, but council person from Connersville, Indiana.
Connect me.
As soon as I get the name. I reached out to them, I'm going to connect them and call to you as well. So
Yep.
that we can talk to them directly. First step is they have to be a member. And then we either have to affirm them as the SCC or.
No, we don't.
candidate, or because it's not affiliated yet.
Oh, so he'd be, right, he's up for reelection.
So he's up for reelection this year, so like, somebody was like, we're gonna have to. Because they just reached out to. Still didn't do it. He didn't lose his partner. He is the incumbent on the ballot.
And he didn't certify to run for reelection.
I know, and we're coming up on a really close deadline, so
Or
that's what will happen in the next couple of days. It's just.
how about let him get reelected?
And then he switched.
Ah.
parties.
No. If he didn't file for reelection, then he didn't. Then it's not, that's,
He probably.
let's look into it and have more discussion offline. That's, less, our enemies hearing what we're saying. Any other questions or comments about the 2023 election process? Okay. Legal updates. I already kind of went over that, and we'll talk more about it in executive session. LPIN events. This is 5 minutes. This is open to the floor. Any event that has not already been mentioned that is important for the state party? No, it wasn't.
No.
No.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, only the thing.
Ms. Kokelar.
Bill and I. Share. Probably the. The plant to table campus food first. We're transitioning away from, the stigma behind campus. We're bringing it back to the basics. And it's going to be in Marion County. It'll be in the Irvington area. It's an indoor, outdoor event. So that's an event we could definitely piggyback off of. If you're ready to write down. It's still stopped. It's mid-September.
One event that the planning of it has been really not great. The communication with the state chairs in the region has not been great. I just found out that it had been finalized the other day on Facebook, and I'm still waiting to get all of the official details. Ohio is hosting in June the regional training for Region 3. You now have as much information as I do.
Yeah.
And I specifically asked to be kept in the loop on this because our people will come and will probably come in a large group, or there'll be a lot of us there. And of course, I found out on Facebook from somebody else who, again, for the second time, because the first time I heard about it, it was somebody from Tennessee asking me if I knew about this regional training event happening in Ohio. And I was like, I have no earthly idea what you're talking about. No, this is all within us. Yep. There is a ticket price to prevent people from registering and then not showing up. They do have a room block for hotels for people coming from out of state in Ohio. It's either Dayton, Cincinnati, Columbus, Lima, could be Cleveland,
July 28th.
July.
Dayton, Ohio. Is it July?
I have it. I think I got the information. Greg beats into meetings.
Okay, is it July?
Yes, and the end, like, wow,
Yeah.
30 that we get.
Yeah, July 28th.
Okay,
29th.
July 28th, 29th in Dayton. There you go.
There is a link to it.
Yes, I saw that, but I hadn't clicked on it yet because I was pretty angry. So, any other events?
Would this be all right? We bring up my service Saturday.
Yes.
Our service Saturday, we are collecting items for it's Gary Aspen Shop in Garrett. We donate their money to a that gives medical care to uninsured people in DeKalb and Noble County.
What kind of items? What kind of donation items?
Nice, and the LPIN. But it's like not electronic, so I may have to pull your DVD player out. And, but she's giving me some DVDs, clothing, glassware.
Things that they could sell in like a thrift shop,
Yeah, like a thrift shop.
but just not electronics.
Higher quality, they want nice, but it's.
So not all of my chipped coffee mugs.
Right, June the 10th is the date. Meet there at 1:30 in the afternoon.
Are you able to collect items from people?
Like I'm getting stuff from Liz today.
Okay, okay,
I
perfect.
might be reversed. It's just so I'm unpacking and.
Well, so anybody who is north of Bedford or anybody who is south of Bedford can bring their stuff up to Tanya. And then Tanya can bring it up.
And she'll bring it, she'll stop to grab it.
Yeah. Okay, any other events of note? Okay, by the way, we did not get a state fair booth. Yeah, we did not make the cutoff list. So we didn't even get the application. This is one of the downsides is whenever we do next are able to get in, we can never not do it.
Right.
Because this is what happens. It's not political, it's not anything. It's there, the list literally has like 400 people on it who are on the wait list. We are on the list of people who tried to go.
It's like a season ticket.
Yeah. So like all of the vendors that are currently there, they get first crack next year. And then like it's the beginning of May and they're like, okay, who are the 10 people from the wait list? So
there's not a guarantee we need.
no, that is correct. Although I may raise some hell because it's a big election year.
I
So-
think we grab the photo and use the parking lot across the street.
You can't, it's full. It's full. It's full. There'll be tons of cars there.
We just cut it down.
Oh, the back end.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. Not the parking lots in front. No, I mean, sure we could. That's a lot of parking spaces. Actually, there's actually a thing banning people from because it is all state property, banning people from flyering outside the state fair during an event.
Yes.
We could talk to Mark about could we challenge the constitutionality of restricting political speech outside of state-owned property. Might be worth something. Let me talk to him and see what that's going to set us back. Might be worth it. Arrested. Good. We've got a volunteer. All right. Next item on the agenda is the Antelope Club. I've waited. Some of you guys have heard about this. Marion County asked me to attend their Monday meeting just to help them vet a candidate for mayor. Even though I am a Marion County resident member, I tried to stay out of the county party events because I am the state chair and I don't want to vote on things. But I attended. The individual in question was sitting at the bar when he informed the patrons that the county party was expecting 30 or 40 people to attend the county party meeting. They then became panicked and started calling staff to come in. The former board president came running over to me and he said, "Hey, Evan, this guy says that the county party is expecting 30 or 40 people." And I said, "Is he high? There's no way there's going to be 30 or people at the monthly business meeting for the county party. There's going to be 8 people. And sure enough, I think there was exactly 8 people at the meeting. And he said, "Okay, good. Because, you know, normally you guys would give us a heads up if there was something happening or something big." And I said, "Absolutely." It was all settled. Everything was fine. The new board president then decided to come up to me and in front of a new member, a new attendee, and members of the Marion County Party berated me for not letting them know that we were expecting 30 to 40 people at this event. And I said, first of all, it's not my event. I'm with the state party, not the county party. Second of all, the guy was talking out his ass. He had no idea and no authority to say anything like that. And he had exactly one person show up to support him, not 30 to 40. And then he proceeded to tell me that we are not liked there at the Antelope Club. Nobody likes us. We have a bad reputation. We are poor tippers. We have a reputation for being the worst tippers, was the exact phrase that he said. That they don't particularly care if we hold our events there or not. I sat there and took him berating me, berating the party, and telling us how much we are not liked. I then went upstairs. Oh, and by the way, we are not allowed to have the servers bring us food and beverage upstairs. He doesn't want them having to go up and down the stairs to, serve food and beverages at a food and beverage serving establishment. But yet, if you are sitting on the patio upstairs in the same room, they are to bring you food and beverage out there, but not if it's our board meeting. I had passed the word along to 3 of the past board presidents of what was being said and done. They apologized profusely and asked what they could do to keep us there. And I said, nothing. I'm making the executive decision. We won't be holding our meetings there anymore. It's not been great. He told me that I have never emailed or contacted the Antelope Club to tell them what our schedule was. And I said, I can look up Antelope Club and show you. Here's the emails. Here's all the text messages. Every time there's a change in leadership there, the process for the schedule changes. But it's not like it matters anyway, because you people are never prepared. It's never happened. I am also going to be, since the state party pays for the chair's membership, I have actually been a member at the Antelope Club since either 2009 or 2010. But when I became state chair, the state party then covers my membership, because that's a standing resolution that the state party pays for the state chair. That way we always have somebody who is a member. I am resigning my membership at the Antelope Club. I want to send a clear message that the current leadership there behaves inappropriately and is costing them revenue. Our holiday party will not be there. We will hold it likely for the same cost at the same place that we had the post-election SCC meeting, the downtown Hilton Inn Garden. Because it will cost us about exactly the same that we pay at the Antelope Club. So I wanted to make everybody aware of that. If you are a member strictly because you attend LPIN events there, it might be worthwhile to let them know. If you intend to keep your, sorry, Danny, I know you just renewed, just rejoined. Okay, let them know.
I got my card.
Yeah. Oh, you got a card? I got my decal that day. Yeah.
There's a decal.
For parking, for parking.
Little parking.
It's a sticker now. Yeah.
I just got.
Thank you.
And especially for that ask the candidate.
It wasn't him. It had nothing to do with him. It had everything to do with the board president does not like libertarians. He doesn't like us being there. He doesn't want us there. And he made it very clear. He's had this opinion for a long time. And now he's in a position of authority that he can exert it. And guess what? You win. We won't be there anymore. We'll find a new place to meet. We'll find a place that actually wants our business and wants our money. And actually, I don't know, provides the service that they're supposed to be providing.
Does Broken Egg have availability, because they've been good to us last year?
That's expensive, but it's worth exploring. We may have an option before our next SCC in-person SCC meeting. Right, yeah. Oh, by the way, you know how we've never been allowed to have minors there? Yeah, so the actual policy in their bylaws says upstairs can be under 21.
Mm,
Yes, exactly. But we've been told we could not have people there that were under 21 for multiple years now. And a way back former president said, that's not true. It's in the bylaws. And we looked it up and sure enough, yeah, it's still in the bylaws. So anyway, any questions or comments about the Antelope Club? Does anybody disagree with the decision that I made about meetings there? Okay, I do promise we will, unless it's the broken egg, in which case I'll send out an email ballot if it's something that's going to cost us money, but location will be in this region as long as it doesn't cost us money for the in-person meetings. Is that okay? The dates won't change, the times won't change,
mhm.
just the names and locations.
Really, July is the only one coming up that we're gonna worry.
Yeah,
Particularly where we have meetings.
we used to do that.
to.
It's really hard for the people that are way up north or way down south. Because if you have a meeting in, I don't know, Lake County, and you're from Vanderburgh County, that sucks. Yeah,
Indy just kind of sucks.
Yep.
Vice versa.
right.
Yeah.
That just means sleepovers, guys. Hi.
It's on. It's on. We're gonna cuddle, buddy.
Nice leather sectional couch.
Unless there's an objection, I would like to move up announcements to ahead of the executive session. That way we don't have to reconvene from executive session.
Mr. Schultz, right?
That's an executive session.
I'll be good with it.
No objection? Okay, any announcements? Actually, Mr. Hirsch, did you have anything that you wanted to talk about?
That's me, is this president of the animal, the one that said this dude, is that things this, the branch walks out here?
No, no, that's general manager and they don't have a general manager.
Oh, they don't.
Yeah, it's basically all being run by the board president. now. Yeah, yeah. We bought the TV for them, for that room that we meet in. The state party paid for that.
Mm,
Branch walks out of where with him?
No, he's not. But he also has no influence there at all anymore. Should have, actually. Then maybe I'll do that. Maybe I wanted to go to their next board meeting and talk about it. I should just go in and start unhooking it and being like, this is ours.
Taking it.
not sure that's Christ right.
I know. It's petty.
You can have your little cat, but I was on TV.
It's like a bad breakup. Where's my sweater? So are there any announcements? Okay,
Please think of an assistant secretary. I honestly don't care who. Just please think of someone. I take it back. I do care who it is.
okay. So that's, for the record, we're going to move into executive session now. We will not reconvene. We will immediately adjourn from executive session. So at this point, I'm going to note the time is 12:22. Our minutes will reflect when the full meeting ends after the executive session, but I will be stopping the Zoom broadcast and all of that jazz